Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my very first Patreon exclusive Zoom yoga class, so I'm very excited to offer this new benefit to my patrons. You may want to find, I have a bolster, but you could use like a pillow or a couch cushion. Perfect, you've got one. It's Sunday morning, and as I told you before, and I know that you're familiar with this feeling, I have an hour to do some yoga with solo. So I was really excited to do a nice, deep, delicious yin practice. So that's going to look like some long, deep holds and some deep breathing, and we'll feel really relaxed, rejuvenated when we're finished. So I'm not going to play any music because I'll repost it later and YouTube doesn't like that. So I recommend anything by like White Sun or Ajit Kaur, K-A-U-R, on iTunes or Spotify. Really great background music. Yeah, so let's see. Let's sit up tall. Find your sit bones. Sit up tall. Release your shoulders. Allow your eyelids to be heavy. And just take a deep breath in through your nose. Receive and inhale. And release and exhale. Once more, receive and inhale. Release and exhale. This is the concept we'll be working with this morning. Release to receive. As humans, we have a limited storage capacity on our mental hard drive. And so when that capacity is full of old habits and programming, there's no space for anything new, like new experiences and prosperity. So this concept of release to receive is what we'll reinforce with the breath and also with the movements that we'll do in practice today. So let's bring the palms together and just rub them to create a little bit of energy and heat. Draw your thumbs to your sternum, receive the heat. Cleansing breath in, inhale. Release, exhale. Once more, please. Receive and inhale. Release and exhale. One more inhale. And we'll chant Om. Om. Allow the sound current to clear the space. And we'll begin with spine flex. So either sitting in a chair or in all fours for cat-cow, whatever's more comfortable. Knees are below your hips, hands are below your, wrists are below your shoulders or perhaps a little bit wider. And find a neutral spine. If you have any wiggles you want to get out, let them out now. From center, inhale, lift your hips and stretch your throat. Gaze comes up. Exhale, press navel to spine like a Halloween cat. Inhale, hips and throat stretch. Exhale, curve your spine like a Halloween cat. Finding a rhythm with your breath. Receive and inhale as you stretch. Release and exhale as you press. And just finding a pace that feels organic and good for you this morning. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back to your breath. You can use your breath as an anchor for your attention or your focus. And you may find that you are comfortable speeding up your pace a little bit, or it may just feel really good to keep it slow this morning. Breathe a little bit deeper. With this inhale, stretch. And release. Exhale, press back. Howling cat. Inhale once more for a neutral spine. Exhale, sit back towards your heels and bring your forehead towards the earth for child's pose. And this is where you may find it more comfortable to go onto your bolster. You can straddle the bolster, have your knees a little bit wide if you'd like. Palms together if possible. Allowing the energy to move up your spine. Receive a deep inhale in this shape. Release a deep exhale. If you did use a bolster, slide it out of the way now. And we'll twist this child's pose Take your right hand and slide it underneath your left armpit, palm up. And you can let your gaze just follow your hand. And if it's more comfortable, you can press a little bit into the ground with your left hand, whatever works for you. And finding a gentle twist. And once you find the shape that feels comfortable, so this edge where you meet sensation, but it's not overwhelming. You can just feel a little something going on. And then resolve to be still. Come back to the breath. Receive a deep inhale. Release a full exhale. This shape and the next following shapes works on the lung heart meridians. And energetically, grief can be held in the lungs. So with every exhale, releasing grief. With every inhale, receive courage. One more breath on this side. Very slowly inhale to release yourself from the twist and just come to center for a moment in your child's pose. And then we'll switch sides. So the left hand scoops underneath the right armpit, palm up. Gaze follows the hand. Finding a comfortable shape, and then resolve to be still. Receive a deep inhale. Release a full exhale. Very gently release your left arm and just take a full breath and center, child's pose. With your inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Eyelids can stay heavy. And then with your bolster, we'll just slide it to the top of your mat and slither down onto your belly. Put the bolster just in front of you for now. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms down, and then relax your head down. Relax your legs and the muscles in your butt. And then we'll come into Sphinx pose. So press into your forearms, and as you inhale, draw your heart forward, scooping forward and up. Gaze comes to the horizon. Exhale. You can adjust your arms if that feels a bit more comfortable. And this is option 1. Option 2 is you'll take your bolster and we can do Sphinx pose with your forearms on the bolster. This is actually my sweet spot. I love it. Right here. But we're all built a little bit differently, so we all have our own unique sweet spots. What we want to find is an edge, so that place where you meet sensation, but it's not overwhelming or too intense. So we want to feel a light compression in your low back, a gentle opening through your chest. And then the third option is seal pose, which is where we straighten the arms. I'll just put the bolster out of the way for this one. Straighten the arms like tent pegs or like seal flippers. And everything else is the same. And this will give you kind of maximum compression in your low back. This is very healing for the bones. And we're working on the subtle channels and the fascia or the connective tissue. So once you find that edge, resolve to be still. And you can use your breath as a focus to still your mind or quiet your mind. I'm going to go back 1/2 step to my sweet spot, which is a Sphinx with the bolster. And we'll stay a while, releasing the exhale, receive the inhale. And as we allow the subtle channels and the connective tissue to release, releasing old patterns. If there's anything in your life you'd like to release, you can visualize it leaving your system with your exhale. The inhale is just white light, prosperity, space for whatever needs to arise. One more breath in this shape. To come out, gently push your bolster in front of you and slide down onto your belly. You can rest your forehead on your stacked wrists or allow your head to turn to one side. Completely release the muscles in your low back now. Gently and slowly bring your palms to the earth under your shoulders. Inhale, press up. Exhale, press back into a child's pose for a gentle counter. The liver gallbladder meridian is next, where we release anger and receive compassion. Inhale, gently coming up to all fours. Exhale here. Pigeon pose. So bring your right knee up to your right wrist. Allow your left leg to slide back. And you can lever your right foot so that the toes come towards your left wrist. Be careful that your hips don't open to the side like this. We want to have this openness happening through the hips and not a twist in the low back. So some people will say to put a bolster under this hip if that happens. I find that to be like a little too much. I find if I gently bring my weight a little bit more onto my left hip, have a gentle external rotation. I find that works best for me, but meet yourself where you're at. This is a really intense pose. I also love to use my bolster in this pose. Same thing as the one before, a little rest for your forearms. If there's any pressure in your knee, your front knee, we want to come out of this shape, and we've got a couple options. One is you can just roll onto your back for a reclined pigeon, where you'll just take that right ankle over the left knee like this. Second option is this forward pigeon, which slightly changes the one leg, but we're still working on the liver gallbladder meridian on this other leg here. In which case we can just fold over the bolster like this. So, finding your pigeon or Indian sleeping swan pose. Find that edge where you meet sensation, but it's not too intense. Once you've found that edge, get the wiggles out. Resolve to be still. And then we stay a while to allow the process to unfold. And you can rest your forehead on your thumbs if you'd like. I'll gently be pressing back to keep the weight in my hips and out of my knees. Receive a deep inhale. Release a full exhale. So working with this liver, gallbladder meridian, meridians are like pathways or river ways throughout your body. And in the yin lineage, the liver comes from the word life. So it's the head commander. The liver is the organ in command of everything else. There's a lot of heat that is created in the liver, and that heat can be turned to anger, or it can rise up to the heart to become compassion. How are we feeling, Megan? Right on. So for a yin practice, we generally hold each pose 3 to 5 minutes to allow for that process to unfold. But dogs and babies make that really hard to do. So a fun way to come out of it is to bend your back knee and then do turn your hips to the side. And then this is kind of a fun little twist you can do, is you can bring your hand or your elbow to anywhere where you'll reach on the ground and do like a rock paper, and then we can twist up towards the sky for a little twist. A little wagging tail, that's so cute. And then always entering and exiting these intense poses really slowly. So gently pressing your way back onto your hips so you can ease that back leg forward. This is a half shoelace pose. So let's see here. We'll have the right knee bent and then cross the left leg on top of the right leg. The left leg was back, now we're putting it on top. I had to think about it for a second. And if this is uncomfortable for your right knee, just extend that leg. And then we've got this half shoelace pose happening here. And here you can take your bolster in front. We'll create length of the spine, big inhale. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. And you can rest on your bolster. Thumbs to forehead if that's comfortable. Or another way you can do it if your back's feeling kind of tight is you can put your bolster right on the crook of your ankle and then rest your forehead on the bolster. And you may find partway through that your edge changes and you can go a little farther. Or you may find the opposite, that your edge changes and you want to back off a little bit. They're both right. Receive a deep inhale. Release a full exhale. And to come out, inhale and roll up one vertebrae at a time. We'll just do a little twist. You can put your foot on the ground, give your knee a hug, or maybe you hook your elbow over top. And then slowly release. And then give you two options. One is what I call folded up lawn chair. My original name for a pose, which looks like this. And then you can just keep your chest lifted so that we're not rounding like this, and you'll feel a little something through here. More intense foot comes closer to you, less intense foot is farther away. Option two is this double pigeon, or this stacked knees. And if you have anything here, you just want to fill the space, if there's a space here. So I'm going to put my bolster, just the edge of my bolster right here. And then weight is back in your hips wherever you are, not forward in the knees, back in the hips. And then if it's comfortable, you can fold forward here. Yogi's choice. So finding that edge, and then deepen your breath to find that stillness. Full breath in, full breath out. Slowly release the shape. I like to do a little windshield wiper with my knees after that. And then we'll do that sequence on the other side. So coming from all fours. This time the left knee comes up towards the left wrist, left ankle comes towards right wrist. Then you can ease your right leg back. And if you keep your foot closer to your groin, that'll be less intense. Bringing your ankle closer to your wrist will be more intense. Weight is back in your hips, not forward in your knees. Same option as before on this side, to roll onto your back or to drape yourself over your bolster in a forward fold version. But you and I are both doing the full pigeon or sleeping swan today, so we'll stay here. receiving that white light, receiving infinite space, releasing old habits, old patterning that's no longer serving you. And if your mind has wandered, use the breath as an anchor. I like the mantra Sat Nam. Inhale Sat. Exhale Nam. And this mantra is like air freshener. It purifies your energy field. Means I am truth, or truth is my true identity. Mantra just means mental vibration, so the vibration of your mind. And that's something that you can use to your advantage as a tool. So inhale the sound Sat. Exhale the sound Nam. Gently bringing your weight up onto your hands. Bringing your torso up very slowly. Your right leg, your extended leg, bend that knee and gently press your weight back onto your left hip for that twist. So bringing your hand or your elbow down to the ground somewhere near your front foot. Rock, paper your hands so that you can open up to the sky. And easing your way out of this twist. We'll very easily bring that back leg forward for our shoelace or half shoelace pose. So this time the right leg is on top, left leg is underneath. If this knee is uncomfortable, just extend the leg. Working towards stacked knees. For your forward fold, you can have this option here or anywhere where you find your edge. Inhale, create length through your spine. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale to receive compassion for yourself, for your situation. Exhale to release anger and attachment. One more. Inhale. Full exhale. To come out, inhale to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, tuck your bolster out of the way. Yogi's choice, you can do your folded lawn chair on this side or the double pigeon or knees stacked. If there's any space between your knees, fill the space. And choosing your depth. Maybe you want to forward fold here. If so, keep the weight in your hips and out of your knees. Deepen your breath. Deep inhale. Full exhale. To come out, inhale and roll up slowly. Exhale and release your feet, a little bounce or a little windshield wiper. And extend both legs out this time. We'll close the yin part of our practice with a forward fold. So same thing as before with the bolster. This is option 1. Option 2 is just might rest right on top of it. Or if you've got a lot of mobility today, you may even want to bring your bolster in front of your feet. So always creating length with your spine first. And then hinge forward from your hips to find your edge. This pose stretches out the fascia or the connective tissue of your entire back body, all the way from the top of your skull, down your spine and through your back of your legs to your feet. So finding that edge where the sensation is present but not overwhelming. Then resolve to be still. And we stay a while to allow the process to happen. Sometimes uncomfortable sensations arise,
And this is a perfect opportunity to see how you meet yourself when this happens. And when we stay a while, we have that follow through. We see that we can go through to the other side. We can become greater than we were before. We can outgrow our habits and patterning. Deepest inhale. Full exhale. To come out, inhale and roll up ever so slowly.
Exhale, and we'll continue that roll all the way onto your back for Shavasana. Option one, you can put your bolster behind you like this to recline on. Option two is to slide the bolster underneath your knees, which is my personal preference because this gets your spine right in neutral, sets everything in a really good place. So finding this spot where you can just completely melt into the earth like a puddle of water. Lengthen the back of your neck. Allow your arms to rest by your sides, palms up. And if it's comfortable, you can even widen your arms and legs a little bit. Eyelids are heavy so that your focus is on the inside. Now that we've opened these channels, these meridians, this is the part where the dust settles. All these, we've created new patterning on a subtle level in your system. And now we're allowing the new patterning to take hold. And all you gotta do is get out of the way. Feel yourself expand in all directions, losing the edge of your container. Merge with infinity. Merge with the elements around you with heat, light, space. begin to deepen your breath. Feel that oxygen bring vitality to all of your cells. Come back to your body now. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Coming back to your container. Take a big morning stretch. Bring the soles of your feet together and the palms of your hands together and begin to rub them. Wake up all those nerve endings. Bend one knee and send it across for a gentle twist. And then do that on the other side. And then hug both knees into your chest. And we'll come up by rocking. Inhale, rock towards your head. Exhale, rock towards your feet. Waking up the spine. And then making your way to a comfortable seat. Eyelids stay heavy so that your focus stays on the inside. Notice how you feel. And we'll close practice today with a 3-minute Kundalini meditation. This is called the addiction meditation. And this is a technique to break old patterning. So it's a way of breaking old habits or breaking your addiction to your former self so that we can have room for space, infinite prosperity, opportunities, and possibilities. So we bring the fingers into the pads of the hands. It's like not the most comfortable. You get used to it after a while. And then the thumbs come to your temples so that when you bite down on your molars, you feel a little something moving. That's how you know you got the right place. Keep your elbows wide, shoulders are low, and armpits are open. And there's a mantra. It's a mental vibration, so we're directing the mind. And it's 4 clenches down with your molars as you inhale the sounds sa, ta, na, ma. And then same thing on the exhale, sa, ta, na, ma. And it's 3 minutes. So close your eyes, gently biting down as you inhale the sound, sa, ta, na, ma. Exhale, sa, ta, na, ma. And continue to mentally vibrate this sound as we go. 20 seconds. Inhale, hold the posture. Hold your breath, squeeze everything in and up. Set the new frequency. Exhale, release your breath, release your posture. Breathe normally. Okay, bring your palms together, please. We'll seal practice today with one Om, cleansing breath first. Inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale for Om. Thank you so much for tuning in. Satnam.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, unmute. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm so glad you're here for our first Zoom class.
That was great. Thanks so much.